Cody Ko isn't going to say anything about the Tana stuff at all. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Cody Ko is a really successful commentary YouTuber, started out on Vine. He is invested in a ton of different companies. He's done very well for himself. He even has a podcast network that a lot of I would say big and relevant and sort of newly beloved content creators are on. He also has a partner in this called Noel Miller, who, if I'm going to be honest with you, Noel does the heavy lifting for them. Cody's more maybe traditionally good looking in some ways. I think Noel is very handsome too, but I think that Cody is sort of the attractive white boy that gets people in the front door. But if you ever watch one of the videos that they do together, the jokes are all Noel. He's the funny one. Now, Cody slept with an underage Tana Mojo at Playlist Live in Florida when he was 25, which would make it illegal in the state of Florida. There's no even legal defense for what he did under even Romeo and Juliet laws, which is when you can say if a 22-year-old sleeps with a 17-year-old, technically that could be considered a defense that people would use. It's a 5-year buffer for sleeping with someone underage. So this is all coming to a head. People are finally talking about it after years of Tana sort of breadcrumbing this information, not because she didn't know that this happened or anything. I think she just basically considered it to be small beans in terms of the pile of shit that she's been exposed to in her life. Hold on, my cat got her. Okay, don't do that. This is small beans for her in terms of her trauma. So I'm going to talk about, all these YouTube creators are basically calling for Cody to say something. This is now a thing. We've got, mainstream people like Philip DeFranco talking about this. I saw a creator named Rachel Oates saying that her video was demonetized before she even posted it when she put Cody's name into the title because YouTube is invested in protecting him. So that's one reason why I think he's not going to say anything, is because if he admits to that on YouTube, that could change his relationship with YouTube. The other reason why I think he's not going to say that is because he is invested in so many companies and also has his own company. I think Cody is smart enough to have put something in his own legal breakdown with Noel and whatever other partners he might have in his podcast network, where if one of them does something super fucked up, someone can technically be removed. Think Ned and the Try Guys, where I'm pretty sure Ned, even if I had to guess, Ned still has some sort of ownership stake in Try Guys, unless the other Try Guys were able to buy him out, which I don't know if that's possible. Ned really was the one, I think, who put the majority of the money into starting Try Guys, along with Zach, and they were the two that were most instrumental in laying out the business plan and everything else. But you are able to remove someone because they make the company look bad, which is why I think he's also not going to say anything, because he's invested in there's a hard kombucha brand he's invested in. I think there's a couple websites he's invested in. If he comes out and publicly admits to a crime, even though he cannot be held accountable for that crime due to the statute of limitations being up, that could really hurt his public association, or could really hurt the brand, and because he's sorry, publicly associated with them. I don't want to put my sunglasses down because then you'll see where I live. I think we're gonna get a soft retirement from him. He's still posting daily videos from what I can see, which is different than what he used to do. I think he used to only post 1 or 2 a week, but lately he has been ramping up the extra videos, and it's almost like he started to see that this was coming down the pike. Cody's also somewhat newly married. He just had a kid. This is going to be really bad for the family as a whole, because this is just a really nasty little allegation, and I think that also admitting this on camera would be on a basic level, he'd be really worried for his kid, and he'd be really worried for his wife. So I would expect nothing from Cody Ko. I think maybe he'll soft retire, and then he'll come back as they always do. And people keep saying, like, oh, this, like, went undercover because, like, Tana is, you know, not a well-loved person. I'd actually say it's the opposite. I think that Cody Ko is a very beloved person. And so people have been, like, ignoring this at every turn because they don't want to believe that it's true, that he could be such a creep. And there's, like, now it's really ramped up to people super dismissing Tana. But, like, I just want to, like, reframe this for everyone. This has been out there for years. There are YouTubers who are canceled because of, like, some anonymous person that we will never see, like, in a chat, and, like, way less solid allegations. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's not a third party witness or anything like that. Maybe at best it's like a minor whose parent or something knows and they found out after the fact. But this is, like, there's someone who's willing to back this up and say that it's true, which would be Gabby Hanna, the YouTuber that told Cody, hey, she's a minor. And I think Gabby Hanna, although she seems to have moved on with her life in some ways, I think that she absolutely would dip her toe back in the pond because she's really on that Christian thing these days. And so she probably is, like, gonna claim offense to this just because it was, like, premarital sex or something. Like, he's really between a rock and a hard place. Like, I don't envy it. I mean, he did bad actions. I don't envy the position he's in at all, because if he does what's right for the fans and does what's right for the world by admitting that he was a part of this, he is going to potentially lose all of his, like, brand deals and his maybe be removed from his investments and sort of, like, publicly disavowed by these big companies, which is gonna make the news in a big way. And also, if he says nothing, then I don't know how he's gonna continue to keep an audience. I will say I'm disappointed in Britney Broski, and there's people being like, why are people holding her more accountable? I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been saying this. Britney Broski should have just started fucking up, and if she wants to be morally vague, she should have just started fucking up a while ago. And, like, completely disillusioned, like, the people that believe that she's a perfect person a while back. Because now she's in this place where she's sort of held up as this person that is, like, morally gonna do the right thing. Like, she's almost, this is why I feel Jenna Marbles, like, retired when she did. Is because even though Jenna was, like, such a good person, she just saw that, like, where things were going and how, like, creators were being discussed and what the possibilities were for, like, how you could be canceled. Because, like, she had imperfect histories as well. Like, some of her Vine friends were accused of some terrible stuff as well. And unless you want to be a person who is constantly speaking out about something, you know, especially if you're from that era where so many of the people you know, like, did weird shit, yeah, she saw the writing on the wall. And so with Britney, for a while now, I've just been saying, like, she needs to, like, fuck up and, like, let these people know that she's not perfect ASAP. And some would argue that that's a bad brand move, but, like, it's actually, I think, the tip to longevity is to let your viewers know that you're a fucking person, because then you're not going to be deified. Anyway, this was long. If you're still here, can I get a W in the chat? And also tell me what you think is going to happen, because I've been measuring and weighing everyone's options here, and I don't think Cody's going to say anything, ever. Look forward to the next couple episodes of his podcast and see if he has someone filling in for him, because he's sick. Like, if it's Noelle and a guest.